Okay, welcome world, welcome to Las Vegas, welcome to Caesar's Palace, welcome to the Forum Shops, welcome to Carmine's, welcome to the show Veritas, Vino Veritas. Vino Veritas.
Vino Veritas.
Vino Veritas.
I used to date her.
Yes.
Veritas.
Yes.
She was no?
My name is Tony Sacca. I'm a Las Vegas entertainer, TV host for many, many years, and I have my two co-hosts, Rich Natole, who is a comic impressionist.
That's right, and I'm doing you now. This is Tony Sacca welcoming everybody. We're going to have food, we're going to have wine, it's going to be a great time.
And we're going to talk about Vegas, and to my left, you're right, is Mr. Ron Garrett in this town since 1890.
That's right. I came with the gold rush.
Yeah.
And he wasn't killed by mobsters, so that's a plus.
Close. I was up against the wall once. I'll get to that.
But Ron Garrett has been the entertainment director for Sahara for 5 years. He was the general manager of the Greek Isles, marketing director for Circus Circus, had his own radio show years ago, and he's my buddy.
How come I'm sitting on this set with you, Tony, with all those great credentials? And here comes down to three Italian guys in an Italian restaurant about to eat meatballs.
Let's go to Vino Veritas.
Vino Veritas.
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 And you know what? We're going to talk about Vegas. We're going to talk about the entertainment. We're going to talk about the history of Las Vegas while we're serving delicious food from Ryan, our waiter. And actually, Ryan, come here, Ryan.
Yes, sir.
You don't call me sir. Call me Mr. Sacca. No. Right over here, buddy.
Ryan, what's that fly doing in my soup?
Right, you're going to serve us?
Yes.
But you know, Ed Bevilacqua, the producer of the show, said we were going to have a beautiful waitress. He lied to me again. He lied again. But anyway, we're at Carmine's.
Yes, sir.
And this is an incredible restaurant. Tell me a little bit about Carmine's.
Carmine's a family-style rrestaurant. We cater to the Italian-style family.
Big.
Events, yes.
Big.
Nothing small.
And everything is family style?
Everything.
Everything family? And you got a nice meal prepared for us?
I certainly do, too.
Good. All right, okay. As we're talking, you're going to be serving our appetizer. What is our appetizer today?
Spaghetti all over.
Is he ordering for us?
I don't know, but I'll tell you something. You know we're running. You know we're trying to find something to talk about.
Doing in the Bobby De Niro now. You ordered for me? Huh?
No,
you ordered for me?
No, they're surprising us with some of the great food. And he was saying the appetizer is?
The spaghetti alla romano.
Spaghetti alla romano.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and then we're going to have a...
rigatoni country style, a little sausage, cannellini beans, rigatoni with a white wine garlic sauce.
That's great. That's great.
Chicken
We
salad.
have a whole hour to do here, Tony.
Well, we just had to get the menu. Thank you, Ryan.
We can bring the waiter out to interview.
Well, we're here.
No, I like the bigger sausage, okay? I don't like the little.
What kind of sausage you want, Rich?
No.
Actually, I'm looking forward to this, Tony. This is Carmine's. I've never been here before. I thought when you said meet me at Carmine's, I thought you meant the mob guy who owns all those Carmine joints. I'm not going to do a television show at a mob joint. Well, no, this is not that. This is Carmine's NYC. And I was looking at the menu, and unbelievable food. I can't wait to get my taste buds.
This foundation's probably holding up 1,000 Carmines underneath.
No, I think they're underneath the foundation.
I mean,
Rich, can we impose upon you and give us a little Robert De Niro welcoming us here at Carmine's?
No, this is Bobby De Niro. I want to welcome you to Carmine's. You're talking to me, cuz I'm talking to you. Huh? I'm here with my good friend Joe Pesci.
Okay. There's Tony Sacca right there. Tony Sacca. Hosts a lot of shows here in Las Vegas. Very big guy, Tony Sacca. Good friend of mine, okay? There's Ron Garrett over there. Ron Garrett. You know who he is, huh? Hall of Fame broadcaster, huh? That's Ron Garrett. Okay.
You know, Ed Bevilacqua said, that was great. That was great. But you know, Ed Bevilacqua...
Let's get a round of applause from the studio audience.
Oh, hey, I tell you, I'm on a roll, or a ball, but you know.
By the way, Rich, this is one of the biggest crowds you've had in a long time.
Yes, it is.
There's 5 people.
And they haven't left, so that's
and they're not leaving. It's amazing.
But it's an Italian restaurant. They have a lot of tomatoes, so they're nice.
Dinner isn't served yet, so they're not going anywhere.
So, Ron, I mean, honestly, you have a history here in Las Vegas. First of all, let's talk about being an entertainment director. Is it a difficult job? Oh, look at this. What is this?
The spaghetti alla romano.
We get to eat and talk at the same time. Can you handle that, eating and talking?
Sure.
Okay. Okay.
Sure. I'm usually muffled, but
Tell us about what's
It's a Campobasso bread, melted mozzarella in between everything, finished off with a white wine garlic caper sauce.
We can't see you, Ryan.
It's all good. Yeah.
Okay, we know your voice.
Yeah.
Come here. So what do we got here?
Again?
Campobasso bread. In between is melted mozzarella, finished off with white
Oh, my.
wine, caper, anchovy, with
Yeah.
garlic and butter.
My buddy Ron just lost 120 pounds.
that's right.
120 pounds. Took him 2 years.
2 years.
2 years.
And look what you're doing to me now. 120
You're
pounds
killing
of
me.
not eating this wonderful food. Maybe I'll make a. You got a to-go box?
Okay, let's talk
How do you
about
not eat
let's
that?
talk about being an entertainment director
Sure.
in the entertainment capital of the world. A lot of pressure?
No.
No.
No. No. It was a lot of fun.
How many people want to be booked?
Everybody wants to be booked, including you. And by the way, I did book you, and you did a fabulous job. And I remember, I'll just tell this real quick, and I'll answer your question. One New Year's Eve, Tony Sacca in the Casbah Theater, where we booked him in there with his act and his background singers and everything else, outdrew the show that I had in the main room.
Wow.
He
So
did say that.
actually, and of course it was Frankie Shinta. No, I'm only kidding. It wasn't Frankie. It wasn't Frankie. Frankie's a terrific guy, and he worked at Sahara for me for almost a year and a half, almost 2 years.
Yes, the shit.
But no, there wasn't a lot of pressure. It was probably the most fun I've had, and I've been in the entertainment and marketing business with hotels for almost 20 years at that time.
What was the craziest request you got for a booking? You remember any?
Well, I don't know if it's crazy or not, but not every single person, but most of the acts wanted to pay me off
Yeah.
to get the booking, and I'm telling the truth, they did.
No.
And I never took it.
And I can vouch for that.
And now,
Because I offered him a little taste of
yeah, no, I never took it. I wanted to do it. I had a bag. I wanted to put the money in, just like the old days, but I never took it because I was getting paid with the money to do that.
Yeah.
And now that I'm broke and retired, I wish I did.
But let me ask you a question.
I'm not broken up.
You brought back to the Casbah Lounge Lena Prima.
I did. I opened Lena Prima on March 4th, 2004. 50 years after her dad opened in the Casbah Lounge on March 4th, 1954.
Wow.
And I thought I would make that an event. And Lena was great. Lena, between you and Lena and some of the great other acts I had in there, Michaelina and Denise Clementi and all the acts that we now do our television shows with, turned that Sahara around like that. And it was fantastic.
We were just told we have to
To
try the food. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we don't normally eat while we're doing television.
I do.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gotta eat.
Let me say, though, about the
That's why we have
pressure,
2 cameras.
there was no pressure. I spent most of my time chasing away the chicks.
Okay.
Oh, that's good. Very good.
I've never had this before.
Neither have I.
Neither have I.
Three
And we're
Italians. I
Italian.
never had this.
What is this again, Ryan?
Spatini alla Romano.
How have you
With
never had
Gino
this for
Romano.
Italian?
That means bread and cheese. What they serve, that's what that means, bread and cheese, which is what they serve
Yeah.
at Lombo State Prison for crying out loud. Which should be familiar to some of us
No.
who've been here since 1970.
That's good.
This is really something different, gourmetish.
My calorie count's way out of sight tonight. I lost 120 pounds in 2 years by not eating this stuff, as I said earlier. But I have my calorie counter in my pocket
How'd you lose all that weight? Tell the folks.
by eating less and exercising more.
That was it?
2 years in the gym.
That you just cold turkey did like that, right? No,
Almost like cold turkey.
No, but I mean, no Nutrisystems, no
Oh,
this, that, and that.
one time I tried Nutrisystems, Rich. So I ordered this food. And so it arrives at my door.
Yeah.
30 days worth of food. I ate it all in a week. 1 week. And I said, this is not going to work for me.
Uh-oh.
Now, what
I
do
had to
you
get
got?
serious.
We got an hour here.
That right there.
Jeez.
Oh, Ron,
Chicken salt and
we're in trouble. You're in trouble.
rigatoni country style.
But let's tell our viewing audience around the world, around the country, where we are. Again, we're at Carmine's in the Forum Shops at Caesar's Palace. And Carmine's also has a location in New York City. And this is incredible food. It is packed downstairs, packed.
Unbelievably packed. And again, I thought it was the other guy's place, a pizza joint. Far from it. Look at this. Look at this. Family style. Not my family. This wouldn't last 2 seconds with my family, you know.
You think it's Marlon Brando's family?
You know, never really had this stuff. I think
Oh,
this is-
my Lord.
Oh, what do you got here? This is,
That's eggplant parmesan?
is that eggplant parmesan? Oh, man, that's,
You better get a big to-go box for me.
geez, you better, that's my
I
favorite.
have enough food for a week.
Eggplant parm, oh, yeah.
Okay. Entertainment director. What are some of the wonderful things you did at the Santa Hotel as an entertainment director?
Kept the job for 5 years. That was the first thing I had to accomplish, which they went through many people before I got there. I was also the marketing director and the slot club marketing director, all three of those titles. So I was 24/7. Daytime, I'm marketing director. Nighttime, I'm entertainment director. Weekends, I'm doing slot parties.
Wow.
And it was a heck of a job. I had a good time. I loved it. It was the best job I ever had. Well, maybe.
You were in Laughlin as the general manager.
Well, that was at River Palms as a GM. That was also the best job I ever
In
had.
fact, you don't know what Laughlin is. Laughlin is sort of like the little sister of Vegas.
90 miles away on the Colorado River.
You just get on there and you head south, is what you do.
That's right. We went down there last week, actually, and we met with some people. Tony and I went down there and visited them. Tony wants to take his show to a stage showroom near you, and we're working on several aspects of Tony's reinvention.
Right.
Even though, Tony, you did this working showrooms and being on the road and all that way before you ever got to Vegas. That's the beginning of your career, and I'm sure, Rich,
Yeah.
you also
I worked Laughlin.
worked Laughlin. What club
I
down
I did the River
Rigatoni.
Palms there.
Well, that's right. That was the GM there from 95 to 98.
Yeah, it was a nice showroom. I
built it.
really,
I
did
built
you
it.
really?
Yes, I
I
did.
loved that showroom.
Sandy Hackett was there.
Uh-huh.
He brought his comedy club to us. Sandy Hackett, of course,
Yeah.
the son of Buddy Hackett.
Yeah.
And also a great show called The Rat Pack
Mm-hmm.
that he does around the country. We love Sandy. And but he was there and he was doing the comedy show. And I started in Laughlin, I started taking the superstar entertainers like in Legends away from that format with there's 6 or 7 of them doing a
Yeah.
show and had them do standalone tribute shows with the house band. And I started with Garth Brooks lookalike. His name is Mick, can't remember, but
Yeah.
Mick something. And he was really good as Garth. And followed it up with Sharon Haynes as Patsy Cline and
So you
Reba
started
was-
a lot of those impersonator
I
shows.
did. I put them as
Wow.
standalones where they were by themselves.
Mhm.
But one of the rules was they had to eat in my Italian restaurant because I was in there messing with the chef, trying to give my mother's recipes to the chef in there, and they finally threw me out. So you're not food and beverage. Go back to what you're doing. You know, I used to cook the sauce for days.
How about when you brought Saturday Night Fever at the,
We went up to Spokane, Washington.
Wait a
to see-
second, who's talking about Saturday Night Fever, right? All right, you're talking about me, John Travolta, Saturday Night Fever.
I actually knew who you would do it.
What'd you do? Oh, there's a switch. So what did you do with Saturday Night Fever?
We wanted to put, at the time, all the hotels were decided, this was at the Sahara, they decided to do Broadway shows. We had Mamma Mia at one, we had some other good ones, The Phantom at the other, all these Broadway shows. And I'm thinking, well, maybe Broadway is the way to go, and that would draw some people down to the Sahara. It was a tough place to go, the Sahara. The north end of the strip wasn't populated like
I
the,
used to play the lounge there at Sandy Hackett's.
absolutely.
I did it with a Beatles show too one time, Liverpool Beatles show.
So, what was I going with
Dennis.
that? You know, I'm getting old, I forgot my
Yeah,
thought.
so you're talking
I'm
about
glad you
the
guys-
Saturday Night Fever show.
I'm glad you guys are talking.
So we put the Saturday Night Fever show, we went to Spokane, Washington to
Yeah.
see it, the road show. John Morocco and I, John was the general manager and before that food and beverage director for
Right.
Circus hotels. And we liked it. So we hired them on the spot. And I don't mind saying what it cost. We brought them down to Las Vegas. It was the road show that was the official one. We had to pay Robert Stigwood, the guy who invented the
Yeah,
Bee Gees.
he was the producer of.
He got paid. He didn't do anything, but he had to get paid. We paid $135,000 a week
To him?
to that show.
To the,
What his piece of that is, I have no idea. But I'm pretty confident he got a pretty good taste of that because he owned them like
Yeah.
crazy. Well, the show opened great. We had the monorail at the time. The monorail had just opened. So the monorail was bringing people to the Sahara. They were coming off that monorail when it first opened. 200 to 300 out.
Right.
So many that I set up a booth there to sell tickets to see Saturday Night Fever because they were coming up. Unfortunately, they were going through the casino and heading to the stratosphere, but we kind of stopped them as much as we could.
Wow.
So we did good business until the wheels literally fell off the monorail. I don't know if you know that story.
No.
But 3 months into the operation of the monorail, which is going on now,
You think people know we have a monorail here?
we have a monorail that runs on the wrong side of the strip and goes nowhere. It's the monorail nowhere. It starts nowhere at the MGM. Well, that's a nice place. It ends at the Sahara. It was designed to go from the airport all the way to downtown.
Yeah.
And I was always on their case about not doing that.
Tony, can I get you some of this? Is this chicken?
But let me stop talking for a minute because you guys seem to have
This
too
sauce
much
looks so
fun.
good.
And there's
You
no way I
can't
can go
not
without
eat
these. Look at this.
This is,
gotta eat,
rotten.
man.
this is unbelievable
Tony.
to eat and
Is there really a Carmine? Is there a guy named Carmine? Is he here?
Yes, sir.
Bring out the chef. I want to talk to the chef.
I'm turning into Regis Philbin.
What are you
Look at
talking
this food.
Anyway,
Bring it on.
so I gotta compliment him on that.
Oh,
So we had the show,
yeah.
monorail. One day, the wheels fell off
I
the
remember that.
monorail.
It was a big thing. I remember that.
Literally fell off
Chicken.
in the middle of the run. So they didn't know what to do. So they closed it. Well,
Yeah.
business dried up immediately for Saturday Night Fever.
Wow.
I went into a heavy ad campaign to get people to come down there, but we still did some business.
Yeah.
But not like we were, and we only contracted them for 4 months. I had other shows I wanted to bring
Did you
in.
meet Travolta? Was he there?
No, Travolta never came, but we certainly got a face full of Monty Rock III. I got to tell you that. We got a face full of him because he started showing up at the hotel saying, "That's my part." I said, I didn't create this show, Monty. It's not my fault. You got to put me in there. I said, Monty, I didn't do it. It's not my show. The producers are in the bed. Go see them.
Yeah.
And of course, it didn't happen. But Monty legitimately did that role in the movie, and I really like Monty. I think he's a hell of a guy, and he had a lot of fame, especially when he did all those Carson shows. But yeah, he was there looking to get a piece of that action, and we couldn't help him. But he came over all the time. The show, we closed it at the end of 4 or 5 months. We thought we did the best, and we no longer wanted to spend $135,000 a week.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know the prices of this stuff, but that's what that kind of thing costs. It's
Yeah.
35 people in the show, in the cast.
Yeah. Now, Tony, you came to this town in what year?
1981.
Yeah,
In
talk to Tony. I
81,
want to eat some of this.
Yeah, and Tony was an act with your brother, right?
An identical twin brother, and we were performing all over the country and the world. And Siegfried from Siegfried and Roy discovered me in Puerto Rico in 1981 and invited me to come to Las Vegas.
Is my hand in Tony's face here?
No.
Sorry, Tony.
And so I broke the town in 1981 and performed in every hotel in Las Vegas, the Sands, the Desert Inn, the Las Vegas Hilton, the MGM Grand for 3 years. And then I started doing a TV show in 1986. And since then, I've been on television for 30 years. I've interviewed over 500 major celebrities that have worked in Las Vegas.
Now, when you started the TV show, it was a one-on-one interview type show? Or was it a variety show like on a stage like you're doing now? Was it
It was in the
like
studio.
in a studio, so like a one-on-one interview with people that were playing
Yeah.
different hotels?
Yeah. Vegas, in fact, I've done some seminars on how Vegas has changed, what it takes to be a Las Vegas entertainer, what you do to become a Las Vegas entertainer, what you do to become a Las Vegas producer. It's not an easy endeavor right now because, like Vegas years ago, they used to pay entertainers. Yes. Entertainers got paid.
And there was no renting rooms?
There was no renting rooms.
Let me say this.
Yes.
I had no 4 walls in there other than
No.
the
You
shins.
paid.
I paid.
Yeah.
And I think we got
The
better
Shins
action.
is four-wall then?
They did, but we guaranteed some marketing. for them.
Right.
So we kind of split it with them, and
Yeah.
they did good business. But that was it. We paid, and that's changed.
Yeah. Yeah. But, when I first came to town, I worked at Desert Inn, and I got paid. Now, if an entertainer wants to come in and work this town, you can do it, but there's ticket brokers. There's so many different levels of how you become a successful entertainer, unless you're Rod Stewart, Celine Dion, Diana Ross, Shania Twain.
Because they can fill the room.
They can fill the room. But it's all about filling the room here in Las Vegas. And I commend anyone who comes into this town and does a great job and fills Jersey Boys, even Jersey Boys full walls.
Yeah.
The producers buy the room.
Excellent. This is the best eggplant.
I haven't had any of that.
Oh, you got
I
it.
have to have a slice of that too.
You got it.
By the way, you're going to watch this show in 1 hour, and you're going to watch Ron, Rich, and Tony gain weight right before your eyes.
It's gonna happen.
No, actually, I'm going to go into the men's room and try and lose some of that.
This is unbelievable.
This is unbelievable. And wonderful food here at Carmine.
Let's talk about the show. Let's promote where we are, Garrett.
We're here at Carmine's, and the show is,
Let's go.
I want you to remember, that's why I said I threw it out.
Vino Veritas.
Vino Veritas.
In Vino.
In Vino Veritas.
Veritas.
It's Vino Veritas. Now, what is the literal translation of that?
In wine there is truth.
In wine, there is truth.
So the more we drink,
You know what? That's what one of my wives said to me. She says, honey, in wine there's truth, drink this. I told the truth, and she's now an ex-wife.
I know her. I know
Indeed,
her.
there's wine, you gotta know.
Ron, I know her. Plaintiff?
Plaintiff, yeah. Plaintiff.
so Rich, what are some of your famous impressions that most people ask for?
You know, I do, you know, in my show, I do like a lot of the classics as well as the newer people that the Chris Rocks and these kind of people. So I try to do, one of the ones that people seem to really like is a guy that not a lot of people have done, but he's been around forever. And that would be Robert Wagner, the guy that talks like this. He kind of talks like, you know, very slow. Remember me from Heart to Heart?
Well, I'm
And
familiar with
so
Robert.
that's that's a voice that a lot of people really like.
He's Mark Harmon's, Denuzzo's father in criminal mind, NCIS.
Yeah, he's been in hundreds of
Thank
things.
you.
How about that?
But yeah, you know, so in fact, Rich Little and I were messing with that.
By the way, we want to give a plug to Rich Little, one of the most incredible impressionists of our time.
Pioneer of the craft.
He really is.
was.
He's now at the Tropicana, and he's doing a show, and I told Rich when I saw him last week, Rich, I've seen you perform for 20 years. You are at your finest. All the people that he impersonates, he has done charcoal drawings of.
Yeah, he's an amazing artist.
Amazing artist. Kudos to Rich Little, our buddy. Tropicana at the Laugh Factory. Go see him. Do you do Donald Trump yet?
Yeah, I do Donald Trump.
Oh yeah, let's.
I do Donald Trump in my show as the Wizard in my remake of The Wizard of Oz. And Donald Trump says,
This is the great and powerful Trump of Oz. If you want your wishes granted, you must bring me the broomstick of Hillary Clinton.
Rich, let me ask you this, and Tony too. Donald Trump running for president has got to be a bonanza for impressionists, comedians, and entertainers.
listen,
Because this guy,
when you turn a
It's
TV
gonna be a lot of
set,
fun.
when you turn a TV set on, you see Donald Trump running for president, leading in the polls, and Bill Cosby, what's going on with him? And if I appear to look blurry to you, it's too late. So,
and you do Jared from Subway.
well, there's another one.
How about Obama? Did you do Obama
Gosh.
Did you get Obama
Yeah.
down yet?
But you know, Obama kind of talks, it's a speech pattern, and Rich Little and I were talking about this. Look, let me be clear. He rushes the end of his sentences, like, let me be clear.
He's got a little bit of a speecher, rather preacher,
Yeah, that's what he
Attitude,
does. He really
pacing.
does, yeah. He
because the
does.
voice work is all,
Yeah.
and I do a lot of voice work.
Right.
It's all about pacing and timing and pronunciation. He has a lot of that evangelistic pacing.
Yeah.
Uh,
Of course, you know, all these presidents had it. Great. I mean, Bill Clinton, you know, my fellow Americans, people ask me, how do I feel about Hillary dropping in the polls? I say, I don't like her either. Doesn't bother me. But, you know, they all had great voices, you know.
Reagan, well, it's nice to be here at, where are we?
Or Carmine's.
Carmine's,
At
yes.
Forum shops.
The Forum Shops.
It's Caesar's Palace.
It is, what city is that?
Rome.
Reno?
No, it's Las Vegas.
Oh, Las Vegas, Nevada. That's right.
And you're the president.
And I am the president.
You know, they said that Reagan would come back to the Reagan Library and he would sit in the mock Oval Office all the time, just to feel
Would he
like he was
really?
back in Washington.
You know, I tried that. I went to my old office at the Sahara,
Yeah, they threw
and I
you
was
out.
escorted out of the property. You know. The hell are you doing
They
here?
threw you out.
As a matter of fact, the day that the SBE people took over the Sahara was Monday, August 2nd,
Yeah.
2007. That Friday, all the people that worked there were supposed to leave. Well, no one told me that. I didn't get that. I didn't get the memo. Nobody said, "Hey, Ron, you're done. Get out of here. Go get your separate." That didn't happen.
That reminds me of the Rudy story when he would show up at Notre Dame.
So I stayed there. That Monday morning, I went to work like I normally would, because I thought I'd have some fun. I'll be sitting at the desk. The new guy, when he comes in, it'll freak him out. You know, and it happened. The guy walks in, and he walks into the office and says, "Who are you?" I said, "I'm the marketing and entertainment director of the Sahara Hotel." He says, "No, you're not. I'm the marketing director of the Sahara Hotel." I said, "Well, then I must be the entertainment director since you're the marketing director." He said, "No, we have a, what are you doing here?" I said, "No one fired me. No one told me to leave. I came to work." He goes, "Oh, you better go see HR, Human Resources," which I immediately did. And they said, "What are you still doing here?" That's what they said. So I said, "Well, give me my severance package."
And they said,
"What severance package?"
of course.
Speaking of severance back, I want to hear about the ring. You have a ring on that I was admiring earlier.
Now, this is a hell of a story.
Yeah, tell us about that.
Okay. In the 70s, Tom Letitia, the famous Tom Letitia,
Yeah.
the political genius here in town, who's
Yes.
won 5 mayoral races in a row here in Las Vegas, by the way, and one in El Paso. Interestingly enough, the guy's name in El Paso was also Oscar, which is very interesting. Tom's big with Oscars. Anyway, him and I had an ad agency. One of our clients was a jewelry store called the Gold Rush Jewelry Store, which was on Sahara in the same area where they're building that new Lucky Dragon casino right next to the Golden Steer. Little did I know that what the owner of the store was the character that Joe Pesci played in the movie Casino, Tony Sacca, Tony the Ant. But we're young and innocent. And we were doing some marketing, helping him sell his store, the Gold Rush it was called, the jewelry store. Well, one day I walked in there to get paid. You're in the ad business, Tony, along with the production business, as well as a fine entertainer. But you have to get paid, otherwise it doesn't add up to anything. So we had run some TV commercials and radio commercials for the Gold Rush. So I went in to get paid one day, and I walked in and I said, but it wasn't Tony, it was his brother Mike. Mikey. Everybody's, when you're a mobster from the East, everything ends with an E.
Yeah.
Ronnie,
Richie,
Mikey,
Tony. We all had end that way. Bobby, Cheech.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, Cheech, where'd that come from? So anyway, I said, Mikey, I came to pay the bill. He says, the bill? What bill? I said, the bill that we ran these commercials for you. He says, how much? I said, it's a couple of grand. You guys have it. He says, you know what? We're kind of short today. I'm thinking, what happened? You didn't rob an armored truck or anything last night? We're kind of short. I didn't say that. Otherwise, I wouldn't be sitting here. We're kind of short today. He said, pick something out in the jewelry case. So I did. And this is the truth now. This is it. This is what I took out of a jewelry case at the Gold Rush. This ring. I don't know what it's worth, and I don't care. I'll keep it forever. But I was so excited. Oh, thank you so much. Look at this wonderful ring. Wow. Parve, it's heavy, gold, and all that. He said, yeah, be my pleasure. I love it. I said, thank you. I go home, and as you do, I looked at it real close, and inside was somebody else's initials. So I went back the next day, and I said, this got somebody else's initials. He shut up. I got somebody else. Shut up. I said, well, I want my own and to shut up.
Good thing it didn't have the finger to go with it.
That's, Tony, I thought about that. I would have felt a lot better if the finger was still in it when he handed it to me, but it wasn't. But this is the real. Inside there's somebody else's initials, and as the story goes, They were doing the hole-in-the-wall gag. They were stealing jewelry out of Bertha's and a bunch of other places, and apparently
Let's
this is one of those
let's
pieces.
plug Carmine's again. Look at this.
Eggplant.
I've never seen anything like this.
Oh, it's wonderful.
This is unbelievable. Did you try this yet?
I have not.
Everything is
No,
great.
let me-
Look at this.
this is wonderful food.
Eggplant Parmesan.
This reminds me of being back home in Brooklyn, sitting at the table with my Napolitan mother and my Sicilian father arguing about who's really Italian. That used to go on all the time. My mother would say, "Your father's not really Italian." I say, "Of course he is, Mom. And, you know, Geritano is my real last name. Garrett is a name I picked up along the way."
Yeah.
In radio, when I was a disc jockey, you couldn't be Geritano. Rinaldo Giuseppe Carmelo Geritano doesn't work.
Ron, would you like a little bit of that?
I would. Would you give me
Do
that?
you work for food?
I work for food.
Okay, look at this.
So they would argue all the time. Rich, it's happening in your house, Tony. We're all Italian, right?
Listen, in my house, if there wasn't gunfire on the weekend, it was a good weekend.
And then they have this big fight. Who's really Italian?
Wow, look at this.
And my father would end it by saying this.
I never seen an eggplant like this. But go ahead.
He would say,
Tony, where is everybody from, by the way?
"No, that's a good idea." But
I was born in
let me finish the story.
Yeah.
He would end it by saying, "You go to Naples, you get the knife, then you go to Sicily, and we put it in your back." That's what he would say. So I just wanted to get that. Which is kind of true, isn't it?
Where were you born, Ron?
I was born on Flatbush Avenue in Brooklyn, New York in 1943.
Wow.
Okay.
And to immigrant parents. Both of my family were, mother and father, were born in Italy.
Yeah, but you are an Italian American whose father was actually a pharmacist.
My father came to this country at 9 years old. At age 22, he
pharmacist.
graduated Long Island University as a registered
Your
pharmacist.
brother was a gynecologist.
My brother, well, my mother says there's 2 gynecologists in the family, but only one has a license. I'm the gynecologist. He's got the license. My brother's a gynecologist. He's retired now.
Yeah.
He's running around all over the world.
Yeah.
And you?
I'm from the Bronx, born in the Bronx. Bathgate Avenue, you know that street? Bathgate Avenue.
Is it anywhere near Jennifer Lopez's house?
I think it probably is. Yeah, so I was born there. Then
By the way, this eggplant parmesan.
Oh.
Carmine,
Yes.
thank you so much. This is unbelievable in the Forum Shops. And the show is called Veritas. And Vino Veritas.
And Vino.
No,
Hey, Ed, how many times are we going to have to correct Tony on this one?
It is
very tough.
Vino
Veritas.
Veritas.
And Vino Veritas. Whatever that means, I'm Italian, but it's delicious.
I have to say, though, this is the best television show I've ever done in my life. There's no question. I'm sitting here with
Good
friends,
food and, yeah.
food, and there's no breaks. You just eat and talk. That's what Ed told us to do. Eat and talk.
Yeah.
Well, if you're from an Italian family like we all are, eating and talking is what we do. Right? Right? That's all we do, especially
Yeah.
on a holiday.
Yeah.
And this is true, Tony. I'm sure it happened at your house back in Philly. We'd sit down at 11 o'clock in the morning to start our lunch, and we'd be at the table at 11 o'clock at night because we'd never get up. It would be course after course, and my mother would be in the kitchen. She actually made the raviolis herself. She'd roll it, put the stuff in.
They make 'em in the morning.
She'd make them in the morning, make them a couple of days before. And then we have ravioli eating contests, and then comes the fruit, and then comes more coffee, then the demi-tasse, and the espresso, and then they bring out the pastries, then you start having dinner.
Then everybody passes out, and that's it.
My uncle was an epileptic, and please, I may be politically incorrect here, but you could, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, he'd throw a fit. I mean, that's a terrible thing to say, I'm sorry, but it was kind. I mean, I don't know what we'd say. As a matter of fact, that's so crazy, I'd get my friends to watch it. But my father took it more seriously, but he would do that. Then when it was over, he'd get back up and he'd start eating again. He wouldn't throw a fit for another year. Now, again, that's a sad disease, and I feel for the people, but this is a true story. This is my Uncle Al. And we would time it, you know, is Uncle Al going to throw his fit yet? Is it 2 o'clock? No.
How many people in your family, Ron?
Oh,
In your immediate family? How many brothers, sisters are
I
there?
only have one brother, but I have 20 cousins.
Yeah,
And my mother had 5 siblings.
yeah.
My father had 5 siblings. So it was just a free-for-all.
And Tony, it was just you and your brother?
I have a
You have
sister.
a sister?
I've had an identical twin brother. God rest his soul. I lost him 14 years ago. We had a wonderful career. We performed all over the country and the world. My last job as San Juan, Puerto Rico before I came to Las Vegas. I was 30 years old, single, headliner at the El San Juan Hotel. It was a lot of work, really.
Now, what'd you do during your off hours, Tony?
A lot of work.
Now, Tony has a book about this, by the way. His new book. It's called 50 Shades of Tony. No, that's not the title.
Oh,
That's
the
not-
ambassador?
Well, Tony is the entertainment ambassador of Las Vegas. It's 50 years, the journey from
That's
Philadelphia to the
yeah.
entertainment
Yeah.
capital of the
It's a
world.
great book.
Tony Sacca. I've read the book. It is a good book. It's a good read. And you should go ahead and get it.
Did
It's
I tell
available
you
on
just
Amazon.
recently about
It's at Barnes and Noble too.
Barnes
It's
and
not
Noble.
in Barnes and Noble.
it's in the library.
It's in the library, it's in Barnes and
It's in
Noble.
the adult section.
It's in the library.
It's in the adult
See how
section.
a guy like Tony walked in one day when they weren't looking, spread the books apart, stuck it in, closed it,
It's in the Smithsonian next to the Monica Lewinsky.
went on
dress.
Facebook and said it's in the library. No, it's a good book.
Right
No,
next to the
seriously,
Monica dress.
it's a good book. It's a good book.
Yeah, yeah.
It talks about, all of us need to, go after what we want to do, our goals, and it's being persistent. Never look back, just do what you want to do.
I know that.
You know that.
I do know that, yes.
So anybody in show business in your family, Ron?
His brother's a gynecologist.
Besides the guy?
That's show and tell. That's not show business. Not really. I do have two very talented cousins.
Yeah.
My cousin Buddy Caputa, who's a good friend of Clint Holmes. They were in the Army together back in the day, my cousin Buddy, my mother's sister's son. And his sister, Dolores, who's also a Juilliard grad. Both of them are Juilliard graduates in fine arts and have degrees
That's
up
hard to
there.
get into Juilliard.
They did it. One of the funny stories was that my Aunt Gray, my mother's sister, would not let Buddy, who's a year younger than me, hang out with me because I was crazy. The only way he could go out is if she thought he was going to go play a gig.
Yeah.
So I'd say, well, and he played big stand-up bass,
Yeah.
right? I said, tell her you're going on a gig, and we'll take the bass.
Yeah.
So that's what we did. Mom, I'm going on a gig with Ronnie. You sure? I'm sure. And he's taking the bass. Oh, he's taking the bass. And we'd stick it in the back of the trunk or whatever we
Yeah.
stick it in. And then we'd go do what we did. Most of the time we went to Greenwich Village and
Yeah.
try to buy Chinese firecrackers.
Because,
That's really what we
because
did.
Tony's from Philly, and a lot of entertainment came out of Philly, right?
Hall & Oates.
David Brenner. I don't want to tell you
David
any story.
Brenner.
He came out of.
Love
who
David
else?
Brenner,
Who else?
Fabian, Frankie Avalon, Bobby Rydell.
Wow.
Yes.
Valley.
By the way,
Valley,
at
Jersey.
7
No, no,
o'clock,
that's Jersey.
at 8 o'clock when the show is done, they take the food away from us.
They
Keep
do?
eating, Ron. They're going to take it away, buddy.
I better stop,
As soon as
'cause
the
I'm way
show's
over
off
my
the air,
time.
you're done.
I love rigatoni. I love rigatoni. Tony. Rigatoni.
You know who else is from South Philly?
Who?
I'm from Philadelphia.
Oh.
Well, all right. Let's talk about the Eagles. No, let's not talk about the
No,
Eagles right
that's
now.
not. I just watched that.
You're from where is Bronx?
I'm from the Bronx.
Are you a Yankee fan?
I'm not anymore because I grew up mostly in California when we moved out there. So I became a Giants fan, and now I got to tell you, I've been out of San Francisco so long. I'm an Angels guy. I'm
An Angels guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trout and Pujols and oh man, I'm an Angels fan.
My brother lives on Coronado Island.
Yeah.
We can see the stadium from his
Oh,
balcony.
yeah, yeah.
And
That's a
it
great
was lit up the
stadium.
last time I was there. They were playing in town. It just lights up that whole area down there in
Yeah,
San Diego.
yeah.
Bay.
Angels Stadium.
But I used to go to Ebbets Field to see the Dodgers
Mhm.
when they were in Brooklyn.
Wow.
And I was only 12 years old then. But they disappointed us and left and moved to LA. But I still followed them, and I'm still a huge Dodger fan. But I like the Mets too.
Yeah.
And right now the
What about
Dodgers
you?
and the Mets are going to do a series.
What's the team for you?
I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan, and it's painful to watch them every week. Philadelphia Phillies, baseball, a little too rough for me. It's like watching grass grow.
Baseball's got a lot of
A
strategy.
little slow, a little slow.
Yeah, but it's strategy.
You
It's,
know,
You have to love baseball.
you gotta love
You
it.
know, I'm more,
Yeah.
I'm more in the entertainment business all my life, watching entertainers performing and producing and stuff like that. So, yeah.
So who are some of your favorite acts over the years that have been on your show? Because you've had everybody.
Anthony Quinn was a great actor.
Anthony Quinn.
Regis Philbin.
You had Regis on?
Regis.
Was he funny? Was he
Yes.
good? What did he do when he was on the show? Thank you, Tony, for having me on the show.
That's
I appreciate
And you know, I kissed him.
it. Well, you're not going to kiss me. So you had him on.
I had him
Who
on.
He
else?
said it was the best kiss he had that day, by the way, yeah.
Well, what does that tell you? Okay, so you had him on. Who else?
Marcel.
Now, did they talk?
Yes, he did.
He did?
He did. He talked.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. You had, do you have Shields and Yarnell? You ever have them?
You know what? I met them. I never had them on
Wow.
the show.
Remember that? They were
Shields and Yarnell.
Shields and Yarnell.
A lot of people
They were,
don't
they were
know.
There's a
on
name.
Vegas back in the day, right?
Yeah.
Right? You remember them?
Mhm.
Yeah. Now, did they headline or did they always just open for an act?
No, they headlined once,
I think
once
they-
or twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they did.
And then did you ever have Cosby and people like that?
You know what? I met Bill Cosby, and we were talking about an interview, but it never happened.
Yeah.
But you know, Milton Berle. I had Milton Berle, George Burns. You know, George.
Now, how did George, what did George say?
George was hard slow. I don't want to take your.
So, no. So
He was 80.
He was 80s?
He was probably in his 90s.
But that's great. You have pictures of that and everything?
Yeah.
You have the video? Oh, that's
Yeah.
wonderful.
Tony's new show, Classic Vegas Entertainment, is being aired nationally right now.
Yeah, plug that. When's that going to air?
You know, Classic Vegas Entertainment is a new show based on all my old footage of 30 years. David Brenner, Tony Curtis, Crystal Gill, Melissa Manchester, Al Jarreau, Lou Rawls, Sheena Easton, Chaka Khan.
Yeah.
I have all these old interviews and footage of all this wonderful talent,
Yeah.
and it's now airing on the Family Network all around the country.
Yeah.
It airs here in Las Vegas on the CW and the NBC affiliate. And again, Ron Garrett is the voice of the television show. And he's here because,
And you narrate, you take the people on a journey through.
yes, he does.
Tony writes the script, and that's what I do, yeah.
Yeah. So you just go in the studio and you just.
Go in the studio once a week, and we do the new shows. We got 6 of them now, huh?
We're on our sixth show.
We're on a 6th show. We're gonna have 52 when we're finished.
Oh,
Shall we plug where we're at right now again, Ron?
Do they pay any bill?
Yeah.
Is that all right?
Yeah. The producer said we should.
We should do it? Well, I'll tell you what, it's my pleasure to do it. Go ahead,
This is
Tony.
unbelievable. At
Yeah.
Carmine's,
yeah,
at the Forum Shops, right?
yeah,
Caesar's Palace.
right.
And we're doing the show called
Cue cards.
Veritas.
Cue cards.
Veritas.
in Vino Veritas.
Vino, and what's
Why can't we have an English name?
En Vino Veritas, right? Is that
Yeah,
right?
speaking
Yeah.
in English.
In Vino
what about
Veritas.
Chachuti?
Ciao Tutti.
I was gonna mention Chow Tootie, because for the first time today, you sent me an email on it, or was it on Facebook? Anyway, I read it. And I have not read that publication, honestly, Chow Tootie.
Ciao Tutti.
I subscribed, I'm in.
Ciao Tutti.
And those of you who haven't subscribed, you go ahead and find it. What's your website? ChowTootie.com?
Chachuti Publishing.
ChowTootiePublishing.com. Go on it right now. Subscribe, become a member. Do you speak Italian? You don't have to. You speak Spanish? You have to speak. No, it's American. One of them.
You're an American now.
By the
Speak
way, I
Spanish.
have to, Tony had a 30th anniversary celebration of his 30 years on Vegas TV. One of his guests that night, last Thursday, was Charo.
And you had her on your show many times, right?
Many times. Charo said the funniest thing, one of the funniest, Tony said the other. She said in her accent, she came to America and had to learn English because that's what she did. And she said, I wasted my time because now everybody in America speaks Spanish. That's what she said. I thought that was funny. And Tony's wife is French. She's a very famous French chef, Chef Josette.
Yes.
One night, Tony's out with Charo and Chef Josette, both with thick accents, one French, one Spanish. Tony's in the front seat, driving along, and they're talking. And he had, go ahead.
And I didn't know what the hell they were saying.
You have no idea. Can you imagine those two? Voila, guda, adios, you know, it's got to be incredible.
It was yes, Charo is an incredible entertainer. She's still 100% performing all around the country
Amazing.
in the world. She's amazing. Yes.
So tell me how the town has changed for you as an ambassador of entertainment who's performed here many years, who's hosted shows here. how do you see that, besides the four-wall thing that we spoke about, how do you think entertainment has changed in Vegas?
Well, the
entire
entertainment
scene?
environment has changed because it's no longer the headliner. And in a sense, we do with Celine Dion, Elton John, Barry Manilow. You know, in a sense, we do have the headliners, but there's such a diverse type of entertainment here, and it's up to the producer to actually promote to the tourist, which is a very difficult thing to do. Now, we have 2 million people coming to Las Vegas every month. So you need to find ways to promote your act to get to the tourists to buy tickets.
Right.
It's not like it was years ago, folks, when you had Frank, Sammy, Dean, and Joey. It's not like that anymore. If you want to be a player in the Las Vegas market, you need to learn how to promote yourself.
Yeah.
You got to market yourself. I mean, you know, I would do seminars on the Las Vegas local entertainment scene in Las Vegas and what it takes to do that. Ticket brokers. Let's face it, you come to Las Vegas, folks. You go to the airport, the lady opens the book and says, you got to see this show. And you're seeing the show because the show is paying the ticket broker more money than the show that maybe you might want to be seeing.
Yeah.
Because it's better
They're
show.
paying more money than what the hotel gets for that ticket.
I know.
It's over 50%.
So I hate to say it, folks, it's a sad state of fear in the terms of what it's like to be a person who's not Celine Dion or Barry Manilow or Rod Stewart.
Yeah, it's very.
And you yourself,
Oh yeah.
you know, you worked at Plaza Hotel.
I worked at Tropicana.
The Tropicana.
Harmon Theater.
You're not a
Plaza
name,
Hotel.
you're not a household name, which with this show might make you. I believe
It might.
might.
Well, then it'll be easier, won't it?
Now, you asked me earlier, Rich, about are the mob guys still around?
Yeah.
You
Are
know?
they still?
And the answer is no.
No.
The answer is no. But let me tell you where the lineage is.
Yeah.
And this is really the way it is. In the day when they were around, and people say, oh, it was a lot better when the mob. That's not really true. It wasn't a lot better. They were a lot more customer-oriented, I'd say, than the current crowd of corporate MBAs who have no concern for people's personal things. All they care about is the bottom line. And the corporate takeover of Vegas, in my mind, has failed. Because the properties still making money today are the ones that are run by individuals.
That's right.
If you go to the TI, you're going to see Phil Ruffin.
Right.
If you go to the Westgate, you're going to see Siegel.
And
If you go to the M, well, that's not them.
Well,
They went corporate on
the
South Point, you're going to
is-
see Michael Gahn.
Yeah, that's right.
It used to be you'd see Bill Bennett at all the circus properties.
Yeah.
You would see these guys actually running, and Steve Wynn's still doing this thing, and Adelson's around, but they're corporate as well. And they're making money.
Yeah.
But the other ones, Caesars, where we are today,
Yeah.
is a corporate situation that has a financial situation where they're bankrupt. I'm not saying anything I shouldn't say. Everybody knows that. But the MGM and so on and so on down the line, they're all losing money.
Yeah.
Because the emphasis has changed. It's not on gambling anymore, and that's where the profit is. And being a casino guy all those years, it was all about gambling.
Yeah. And when the mob guys ran the hotels, they basically took care of the entertainers, gave
Big
the
time.
shows away for the high rollers and everybody, and made up for it tenfold in the gambling.
Many-
Well, you're not going to like what's happening right now.
Well, that's a pass. But
What the hell is
but
this?
where they are, the
Ron,
question
what
was,
is it?
Oh,
Ron,
tiramisu.
the question was, are they still around?
Ron,
The answer, in a way, they are.
you got 6 minutes.
Well, let me just finish the story, and I'm not going to have any of that.
Come on, you
Even though
gotta just taste it.
I could do it like in the movie Scarface. Right into that. I could do that in a second.
Ryan, this is unbelievable.
But where they are, let me finish that thought. Where they are is that the money that the mob made in those days
Yeah.
has been laundered 1,000 times. Now it's clean.
Yeah.
And so if you want, and I had a restaurant here in town and worked in the hotels, if you wanted meat,
Yeah.
linen, garbage picked up,
Yeah.
or any of those services by the vendors, those vendors are in the hands of the grandchildren and great-grandchildren, legitimate now, don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, it's 100% legitimate.
Yeah.
But that's who your suppliers are, your vendors. And that's where the influence,
Right.
really, it's not influence, but that's where it still is, that's the lineage where it comes from.
Ron, this is just
There's no way, Tony, I don't eat
this is
sugar.
just, this is just cream.
Do you want me to have a diabetic fit right here?
This is just cream. Look. You didn't change this plate, Ryan.
No, I'm gonna,
right next door.
maybe just that. Chocolate. Gotta have this.
Tony,
Thank you.
We have 10 minutes left.
You can box up whatever.
Listen, if you want to get a hold of any of us, my website is tonysacca.com, Tony@tonysacca.com.
Rich Natole with an E.com.
Vegas Adman at MSN.com.
VegasAdmin@MSN.com.
Vegas Adman, which I got in 1991.
You gotta have some of this tiramisu.
Tony@tonysacca.com. And how about here for the show? What is the email for this? Ciao Tutti?
ChowTudiPublishing.com.
Ciao, C-A-I.
CIAOTUTI.
CIAO.
C-I-A-O.
TU.
T-U-T-T-I.
Publishing.
Publishing.com.
Obviously, none of us went to college.
how about talking about the club?
Yeah, the Italian American Club.
The Italian American Club. Oh, we are members of the Italian American Club. We're Italian, and we patronize the Italian American Club. And we love the Italian American Club. And
Shout out there.
Yeah.
Angelo Casaro, Jimmy,
Ben Spano.
Jimmy Gerard, and Ben Spano, who are actually promoting local entertainment. I'm so excited about being part of that.
Yes, let me say something about that. Well, I'm sad to hear today that Bob Anderson's show is going to end on the 28th of November.
Oh, November, I thought it was gonna go through December, no?
That was the original plan.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's not going to be on when they celebrate Frank's 100th birthday. That's a sad story. It's one of the things I've been talking about. I like to be funny, but get serious for a moment, if you don't mind. Live bands, like at Showstoppers and at Bob Anderson's show, are the best thing to happen to Vegas and should continue. I don't like canned music. I don't like floor-walling. I don't like high-priced tickets. I think all tickets should be $60, that's it.
I'm with you.
And we do a lot more business on the shows. The shows are hurting. If you draw 200 people today, that's a good crowd.
Yeah.
200 people years ago, they'd kick the show out.
Yeah.
Today, you got a crowd. There's a way to do it. The brokers, the ticket brokers, the half-price guys are killing us.
Yeah.
And you have to give away half your commission to these brokers to get them to sell tickets for you.
Yeah.
I fought that every single day. I was at the Sahara as the entertainment director, and I made no friends, by the way, doing that. But I was right, and I will continue to fight that. Live music, no canned music, no more floor-walling. And get rid of a couple of search shows.
Yeah.
Then we're talking. I've said my piece.
Probably not going to happen.
Probably not going to happen. Nor will I ever find a job as an entertainment director.
Where do you see, Tony, where do you see Vegas going as far as with the four-wall thing and the two-wall
No,
thing?
I predicted this for 10 years. I was one of the very few guys
All right, just a little.
that predicted that Las Vegas entertainment venues will be in places like the Italian American Club, like Ron the Cars Event Center, like the Bootlegger, and a lot of different local venues that will keep local entertainment alive because people love that.
Sienna, Salvatore's,
Sienna,
Green
How about
Door,
the Tap House?
Tap House,
Tap House.
Bob Harry's joint.
So that's what's happening. Our town has gotten big enough where there's, like in New York City, when it was Jilly Rizzo's, when it's the Copacabana, we started expanding into nightclubs, and that's where all the talented people are actually making their appearances now.
Tony said it. He said that the old Vegas is still here. It's just not on the Strip.
It's just not on the Strip, but that's sad, isn't it?
That is sad. And the people come here, the tourists, and I've done a lot of tourism, talking with people. They miss that. They come looking for that.
But don't you think that's going to come back around at some point?
I do.
Well,
It's got
yeah, in the clubs. By the way, if you happen to be in Vegas and you want to see my star, it's at the Paris Hotel.
No, tell them what your star is. You didn't explain. It's a star in the ground on the Walk of Fame.
Yeah, the Walk of Fame. We have 73 stars, and it's Engelbert, Elvis, and who? Tony Sacca.
Tony Sacca.
And Wayne Newton said, and there was a bum sleeping on your star, Tony.
Yes.
Tony, what about your President's Lifetime
I
Achievement?
was so excited that somebody submitted me for an award because I do a lot of
Community service, Tony.
to the community,
Big.
and they had to submit that to the White House, and they gave me a Las Vegas a lifetime achievement award from the White House, signed by Obama. It's a White House award, but it's signed by the president.
But why,
Well, last time I checked, he was the guy in the White House.
but Tony, why didn't you wear the medal?
You know what? I forgot to put the little medal on today.
No, I mean the big medal.
The big medal too. I should have brought that.
They thought he was in the Olympics when he was wearing that.
So
And if you
excited.
read his book, you know what he was famous for.
Yes.
You know what? This is a lot of fun.
This was good. wasn't
This
it?
was good.
5 minutes.
Thank you so much.
Let's promote the venue.
Again.
We're in Carmine's.
Carmine's.
And this is the Caesars Forum Shops, and we're at I'm blanking on it again.
Who you doing?
And Vino.
And we're in Vino Veritas.
I got an idea.
We gotta
I think we
change
ought
the
to
name of
change
the
the name.
show.
Yeah, let's just change. Let's call it something simple. Hanging out at a table. Something simple.
I'm doing him so much, I'm starting to forget stuff
You know
like that.
something? You know, Tony,
Vino
that
Veritas.
Rich is the only guy that does you in town, other than you. Matter of fact, you do a great impression of yourself. But
Babe
Rich
here
does
used
you.
to do.
Babe here was, and he had
What
the
he's done.
biggest kick out of that.
Did he used to do?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
So let's do the opening of Tony's Las Vegas Rock Show. Go ahead.
This is Tony Sacca, and this is the Las Vegas Rocks Variety Show. And who do we have on today, Ron?
We have Tony Sacca,
Tony
also
Sacca.
featuring Tony Sacca, followed by
Starring
Tony
Tony
Sacca.
And now here
And
he
right
is.
after that, Tony
Tony
Sacca.
Sacca.
And now, here he is, Tony Sacca.
Right here at Carmine's with my two buddies, Rich Natole, who is a fabulous comic impressionist
And has his own radio show. Plug your show.
on radio.
Yeah, radio show on Monday mornings, which we'll be going to more days a week actually after in January. Monday mornings, KSHP, which is KShop 1400 AM. Go to kshp.com. You can listen live on the internet Monday mornings from 10 to 11 a.m.
But you also write for the Vegas Voice.
Yeah, I write an entertainment column for the Vegas Voice paper.
And you don't write
VegasVoice.net is the website.
You going to write for the Chow too?
I will. I'll do something. Okay. Yeah.
Does it have to be in Italian?
They'll hook me up.
Listen, I know Tony Sacca is going to hook me up.
And Ron Garrett, my buddy Ron Garrett,
Ron Garrett.
one of the most experienced entertainment directors and marketing guys in the history of Las Vegas.
The history.
History.
Ooh.
History.
I'm going to go down in flames here.
What do you think of the food here?
This food was phenomenal.
So what are the hours Carmine's is open?
11 o'clock to 11 o'clock.
11 to 11, Carmine's in the Caesars Forum
How many
shops.
lunches did you do today? Around 300.
300 lunches.
Wow, 300 lunches.
Roseanne was in town?
I used to own a restaurant called Maple Tree Country Kitchen. If I did 300 lunches or breakfast a week, I was happy.
Well, you owned a restaurant, that's why you had to lose that 130.
I gained 50 pounds owning that. You know, I had to test everything.
Yeah.
I did. I truly gained 50
What kind of
pounds.
restaurant was it? What's the food?
It was a sugar shack.
Yeah.
Maple syrup, pancakes,
Wow.
Monte Cristos.
Yeah.
Please, I'm getting fat just thinking about that place. I sat there for a year shoving food into my face.
Wow.
And I went up to 290 pounds.
Wow.
And today, 169.2.
There you
Wow.
go.
Not after tonight.
You know, you watched, I didn't eat a whole lot. But
You were-
but he's going to bring me a go box that you guys aren't going to get.
I don't want to.
No,
I loved it. The tiramisu was. I never see tiramisu.
Tony's married to a French
I would
chef.
like to
Can you
bring, can I
imagine?
bring some of my daughter, that's my daughter's favorite. Can I bring some of the tiramisu from the She said, in fact, she said, Daddy, bring me some tiramisu.
You got any bones for my dog? That's all I got.
You got a dog, at least mine passed away. What kind of dog you got?
I have a little Pomeranian that, because of Tony's friends, I was hooked up with this
We are,
terrific
we are
dog.
Pomeranian
Tony's
lovers.
got two
We are dog lovers.
dog lovers.
We are dog
We always
lovers.
dog lovers.
We're here at the entertainment capital of the world at Caesar's Palace in the Forum Shops at Carmine's, a very gourmet style type restaurant. That the food is delicious. We had the Parmesan, we had the chicken.
That was family style, right?
What do you think this would have
Sure.
cost us if Ed wasn't paying? I'm only kidding. We don't want to know. We don't want to know.
No, that's
Is Ed paying? I don't know. Am I paying? Check!
This was delicious.
It was all good. Everything was.
I hope you
everything was
enjoyed
great.
watching this show. We are on every Monday. You could rewatch it again right on the internet.
Absolutely.
And how do we watch it on the internet?
Go to YouTube,
YouTube,
in Vino Veritas.
in Vino
Tony Sacca.
Veritas, Tony Sacca.
Okay. Will you text me in Vino Veritas the proper spelling, please?
Veritas is V-E-R-I-T-A-S. Are we off?
No.
Now, on behalf
Oh,
of Tony
10
Sacca,
10
10
seconds.
seconds.
on behalf of Tony Sacca, the Ambassador of Entertainment, and Ron Garrett, the Announcers Hall of Fame, and comedian impressionist.
Broadcasters
Rich
Hall of
Natole.
Fame, not the Announcers
Broadcasters
Hall.
Hall of Fame. A Hall of Fame is a Hall of Fame, isn't it?
Thank you.
Goodbye, folks. Come down here. See us.
Ciao, Bella.